Okay, in this video, we're going to learn the very basics of Premiere, and we're going to do the things that we did on the checklist when we first started class. So we've imported video already, so we can see that down here. Now we're going to mark some clips for use in the timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on the kitten footage here. And now you can see that I have a preview window open of the kitten footage. It starts with a black screen, which makes it a little bit inconvenient for this, but I'm going to go ahead and hit the space bar to play the footage. Okay, and let's say we want the footage to start right about here. So I'm going to hit space bar again to pause. Then I'm going to hit I to make an in point, and now you can see that that grayed area is created, meaning that's the only part of the clip that's going to be used. The part before here, which is called the playhead, will not be used. So I'm going to play it for a couple more seconds, stop it there, and we'll call that our out point. So I'm going to press O for out point. Okay, and now you can say that just this range is going to be used when we bring it down into the timeline. So in order to bring it down into the timeline, I'm going to grab the image itself and drag it down into the timeline. Okay, and so now we have exactly the part of the clip that we marked for use in our final edit. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, I'm going to do one more for you. So let's do the puppy. Okay, first I'm going to position my playhead near the end here so that edit will go right at the end. Then I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to mark an in point right around here. So I'm hitting the I key to mark the in point. I'm playing it for a few more seconds and I'm going to hit spacebar again to stop it here. And I'm mark an O for the out point. Now you can see that this range once again is what's marked in the clip. This is the only part of the clip that'll be used. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag it down to our kitten clip. And now we can see we go straight from the kitten to the puppy. And both are just the parts of the clip that we marked. The next thing in the checklist is using the razor tool to make cuts. So let's say we decided afterwards that we didn't want the puppy footage to start until just about here. Okay, so I've marked it there. I've positioned my playhead. I'm going to go over here to where the tools are, and this is the razor tool right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now I'm coming back over to my timeline. The idea is I'm going to cut this part out here. I didn't like the beginning after all, so I'm cutting this part out. So I'm making a cut right here. We'll do the sound too, even though there isn't any sound. Now we'll go back over and pick the selection tool, which is just kind of the default pointer tool. So I'm going to pick that again. And now I'm clicking on the area that I don't want, that I made a cut of, and I'm just going to hit the key, the delete key, right? And now that's gone. Now there's a black space in between the kitten footage and the puppy, but all I got to do is click on that empty space and hit delete, and now that space itself is deleted. So now we go from the end of the kitten footage to the section of the puppy footage that I wanted to use after all. Okay. The other thing that I showed people how to do in the timeline here, when the blue frame is around the timeline area, is to zoom in and out of the timeline. Sometimes we'll want to make really precise edits, and we'll want to look at a small period of time very close up here. And then at other times, we're going to want to see our project more as a whole. So we'll back out and zoom out in that way. So that's plus on the keyboard to zoom in, the plus key on the keyboard zooming in, and the plus key on the keyboard zooming in, and the minus key on the keyboard zooming out. Zooming in, plus key, zooming out, minus key. Okay? And those are the basic edits we talked about on the checklist.